Sarah Thompson pushed open the heavy glass doors of Thompson Luxury Motors, her sneakers squeaking faintly against the polished marble floor. The air inside carried the sharp scent of new leather and wax, a testament to the gleaming rows of luxury, cars that lined the showroom like silent sentinels of wealth. She adjusted her simple sweater, feeling the weight of her mission settle over her shoulders. Today wasn't about her, not really. It was about Lisa, the young woman from the shelter whose resilience had touched Sarah's heart. Lisa needed a car, and Sarah intended to buy her one. Her 16-year-old daughter Emma followed close behind, her eyes darting from the sleek curves of a midnight blue coupe to the imposing grille of a silver SUV. "Mom, this place is unreal," Emma whispered, her voice tinged with awe. "Are we seriously buying a car today?" Sarah nodded, her lips curving into a small smile. "Yes, but it's for Lisa. She starts her new job next week and I want to make sure she has something reliable." She scanned the showroom, her gaze landing on a young salesman in a crisp suit, his hair slicked back with precision. His name tag read, Mike. Taking a deep breath, she approached him, her heart thudding with a mix of determination and unease. "Good morning," Sarah said, her tone polite but firm. "I'd like to test drive the new sedan model, please." Mike's eyes flicked over her, her unassuming jeans, her lack of jewelry, her quiet demeanor, and his smile tightened. "Do you have an appointment?" he asked, his voice smooth but edged with doubt. "No, but I'm interested in buying it today if it feels right," Sarah replied, meeting his gaze. Mike hesitated, his fingers tapping lightly on the counter. "Well, test drives are reserved for pre-qualified customers or those with appointments. Maybe you'd like to see the brochure first?" Sarah's chest tightened, a flicker of frustration sparking within her. "I don't need a brochure. I need to know how it drives. I'm planning to pay in full." Mike's brow arched, skepticism carving lines into his youthful face. "The sedan starts at $50,000. Are you sure that's in your range?" Emma stepped forward, her teenage indignation flaring. "My mom knows what she's doing. Just let her test the car." Sarah placed a calming hand on Emma's arm. "It's okay, sweetheart." Turning back to Mike, she said, "Yes, I'm sure, please, it's important. This car is for someone who really needs it." Mike crossed his arms, his stance unwavering. "I'm sorry, ma'am, but without an appointment I can't authorize a test drive. Rules are rules." The words stung, stirring a deep-seated fear Sarah had buried long ago. The fear of being dismissed, of not being enough. She'd grown up in a small town, her family scraping by, and even now, married to a successful man, she sometimes felt like an imposter in places like this. "Is there a manager I can speak to?" she asked, her voice trembling slightly. "The manager's busy," Mike said, waving a hand dismissively. "Look, come back another time with an appointment." Emma's eyes flashed. "This is ridiculous, Mom. Let's go somewhere else." "No," Sarah insisted, her resolve hardening. "This model is perfect for Lisa, safe, reliable. I'm not leaving without trying it." The tension hung thick in the air, the hum of the showroom's air conditioning amplifying the silence. Then, the glass doors swung open again, and John Thompson strode in, his tailored suit and confident stride marking him as someone who belonged. His dark hair was streaked with gray, and his presence seemed to shift the room's gravity. He'd been across town in a meeting, but a gut feeling had drawn him here today. Spotting Sarah and Emma, he grinned. "Hey, you two, what's this? Surprise visit?" Sarah turned, relief flooding her. "John, thank goodness. I've been trying to test drive the sedan, but..." John's grin faded as he caught the strain in her voice. "But what?" He glanced at Mike, who shifted uncomfortably under his gaze. "What's the problem here?" Mike's face paled, recognition dawning too late. "Mr. Thompson, she didn't have an appointment, and I didn't know..." "Didn't know what?" John's voice sharpened, cutting through the excuse. "That she's my wife? Or that she's a customer in my dealership?" Sarah's breath caught, the shock of John's arrival rippling through her. Emma's jaw dropped, and even the other customers browsing nearby turned to watch, sensing the drama unfolding. Mike stammered, "I'm so sorry, sir. I didn't recognize her." "That's not an excuse," John snapped, his eyes blazing. "You don't deny anyone a test drive based on how they look. This is my business, and we treat people better than that." He turned to Sarah, his expression softening. "Honey, why didn't you tell him who you are?" Sarah exhaled, her hands trembling slightly. "I wanted to see how your staff treats regular people, not just the wife of the owner, and I didn't expect this." John nodded, understanding flickering in his eyes. "Well, let's fix it, Mike. Get the sedan ready now." "Yes, sir," Mike muttered, scurrying off to retrieve the keys. Emma leaned closer to her father, her voice low. "Dad, that was epic. You totally shut him down." "It's not about shutting anyone down," John said, ruffling her hair. "It's about doing what's right." Minutes later, the family climbed into the sedan, its interior a cocoon of soft leather and polished wood. As John drove them out of the lot, the engine purred beneath them, a smooth hum that eased the tension in Sarah's shoulders. She glanced at him, grateful for his unwavering support. "So," John said, keeping his eyes on the road, "what's this about buying a car today?" "It's for Lisa," Sarah explained, her voice steadying. "You know, from the shelter. She's been through so much. Lost her parents young, struggled with jobs, but she's finally got a break. A receptionist position. She just needs a way to get there." John smiled, pride warming his features. "That's my Sarah, always looking out for others." Emma piped up from the back seat. "Mom's like a secret hero, right, Dad?" "Absolutely," John agreed, chuckling. They turned onto a winding road, the city giving way to quieter streets lined with trees. Sarah was about to suggest they test the brakes when she spotted a car on the shoulder, its hood up and hazard lights flashing. A young woman stood beside it, her posture slumped with defeat. "Pull over," Sarah said, her heart lurching. "She might need help." John eased the sedan to a stop behind the stranded vehicle, and they stepped out into the crisp afternoon air, the faint smell of gasoline lingering. As Sarah approached, recognition hit her like a thunderbolt. "Lisa?" she called, her voice rising with disbelief. The woman looked up, her tired eyes widening. "Mrs. Thompson? What are you doing here?" "We were test driving this car and saw you," Sarah said, hurrying to her side. "What happened?" Lisa rubbed her arms, her breath visible in the cool air. "It just stopped. I was on my way to work. My shift starts in an hour, and now I'm stuck. I can't lose this job." John knelt by the car, peering under the hood. "Engine's toast," he said, straightening. "This isn't going anywhere without a tow." Lisa's face crumpled, tears brimming. "I can't afford repairs. I just got this chance, and now..." Sarah's heart ached, the despair in Lisa's voice echoing her own earlier frustration. She glanced at John, their eyes locking in silent agreement. This was the moment, the unexpected twist fate had handed them. "Lisa," John said, his tone gentle but firm. "How would you feel about a new car?" Lisa blinked, confusion etching her features. "What?" Sarah stepped closer, her voice trembling with emotion. "We were planning to buy this sedan for you. I wanted to surprise you, but it seems you found us first." "You're kidding," Lisa whispered, her hands flying to her mouth. "Not at all," John said. "Sarah's told me about you, your hard work, your determination. You deserve this. Let us help you." Tears spilled down Lisa's cheeks, but this time they were tears of joy. "I don't know how to thank you. This changes everything." Emma, standing nearby, grinned. "Told you, Lisa. My parents are the best." Sarah laughed, pulling Lisa into a hug. "You've earned this, Lisa. We're just happy to be part of your story." They arranged for Lisa's old car to be towed, and soon she was behind the wheel of the sedan, its keys gleaming in her hand. As they drove back to the dealership, Sarah felt a swell of joy so intense it nearly overwhelmed her. This wasn't just about a car. It was about hope, about breaking the cycle of judgment and despair. Back at Thompson Luxury Motors, John gathered the staff in the showroom, the late afternoon sun casting golden rays across the cars. Mike stood among them, his head bowed slightly. "Today was a wake-up call," John began, his voice carrying a quiet authority. "My wife and daughter walked in here and were judged by how they looked, not who they are. That's not what this dealership stands for." He gestured to Lisa, who stood beside Sarah, clutching the keys like a lifeline. "This is Lisa. Because of Sarah's kindness and a little luck, we turned a bad day into a new beginning for her. That's the power of treating people with respect, of seeing beyond appearances." The staff murmured, some nodding, others exchanging glances. Mike stepped forward, his face flushed. "Mrs. Thompson, I owe you an apology. I messed up and I'm sorry. I'll do better." Sarah smiled, her earlier anger melting away. "We all have moments to learn from, Mike, thank you." As the staff dispersed, John pulled Sarah aside. "You okay?" "More than okay," she said, her eyes shining. "Today was tough, but it showed me what matters. Standing up for what's right, helping where we can." That evening at home, the Thompson family sat around the kitchen table, the aroma of dinner filling the air. Emma looked at her parents, her expression earnest. "Today was amazing. I saw how you didn't let that guy push you around, Mom, and how you both helped Lisa. I want to be like that." Sarah reached for her hand, squeezing it gently. "You already are, Emma. Just keep being kind. It's the strongest thing you can do." John leaned back, a contented smile on his face. "You know, sometimes the best deals aren't about profit. They're about lifting someone up when they need it most." Later, as Lisa drove her new sedan through the city, the dashboard lights casting a soft glow on her face, she felt a hope she hadn't known in years. One act of kindness had shattered her fears and opened a door to a brighter future. And in that moment, she knew that no matter where the road took her, she'd never forget the day the Thompsons reminded her that compassion could change everything.